Hello everyone. Hello. Oh my god. I hope everything's set up. I'm really nervous right now. But yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So, can you guys hear the BGM? And is audio is audio all good? Is everything good? Oof. Okay. All right. So, let me check some things first. But ta-da! Yeah, we will be doing a virtual world tour, and the first installment, the first episode, or the first stop is in France. And for today, we are going to be visiting the Louvre. Yeah! Yeah, we're gonna be going over a lot of the most famous pieces in the Louvre, but also some of my personal favorites, some of the ones that I saw that really captured me, really pulled my attention towards it, and all the different art pieces, the different installments, the different exhibits, and yeah. We will be going over a lot of the different historical events as well, going through some of the stories behind each piece of artwork and how they came about. I hope maybe I should turn down the BGM a little bit. Can you guys hear it? Okay, wait. I think oh gosh, I set it up incorrectly. Settings. No. We can't escape the scuff. Okay. Let's see. Ta-da! Okay. I think it's good now. Hello, hi Frog, welcome. I hope you guys I'm so nervous right now. My heart is pounding. I hope you guys enjoy today's stream. Yeah, we will be going over a lot of the different individual art pieces in the Louvre, and a few of the most famous ones, a few of my personal favorites, and I hope you guys like it. Okay, can you guys hear the BGM? I'm having some trouble like making sure the BGM comes through. Let's see. Don't be nervous, you're the tour guide. That's true. All right, so once we get the BGM set up and go over a few I hear the BGM. Hello ZZ Zunyun. Okay, had to do a double take. Elevator music? Yeah, I hope it's not too intrusive. I just wanted to put something in the background while we kind of tour the Louvre. But before we start, I have with me here a beautiful 4-piece of macaroons. Macarons, and that will be serving as our as our snacks for today. And I also have, oh gosh, the legendary drunk stream might come back. I have a cup of rosé with me. Yeah. Trying to get into that French spirit, that French trying to involve myself into the French lifestyle, I suppose. All right. We'll start off with a small sip, but I don't know how heavy rosé is. Apparently it's 12.5%. I don't know if that means anything to any of you guys, but here goes nothing. Personally, I actually really like how it tastes. This is my first time having rosé. It's a little bit, I hear it's like a mix of red wine and white wine, and I think that's a pretty good description. Okay, one more. I Okay, I also have water with me, so we can make sure to not get dehydrated when drinking. Yeah, rosé is a bit sweet for me. Cabernet for the win. I want to try Cabernet, but I didn't really want to get. So my only options for rosé this time around were like from Carrefour and like convenience stores. So I didn't really want to get like bad Cabernet. I think I've had it once before when visiting a vineyard. That's okay. All right, enough, enough introductions or enough what's it called? Let's go on. All right. Yeah. Hello, Kellen. Welcome, welcome. All right. I hope you guys really enjoy. I had to disable some some parts of the stream just so to kind of fit everything together for this one. So there's no sadly there's no throwing. There's no oh, sorry, I had to cough there. There's no my bad, getting sidetracked. Oh, we'll get sidetracked a fair bit. I can already see that, but there's no chat on screen. So, but I tried really hard to design a very, very good presentation over these 2 months, and here we go. So, first things is the introduction. Oh, okay, wait, let me just quickly. Okay, I think. Alright. Oops, you guys saw a little bit of what's to come. So, alright, the Louvre is one of the. I think it is the world's biggest museum and probably one of the most busiest museums, housing over 500,000 art pieces, paintings, and more in its collection. It's a really, really magnificent space. And if you guys ever get the chance to, I highly recommend after watching today's stream, maybe you guys get into museums. I really want to share my passion for museums today and try to present some of the most interesting stories, the most interesting pieces, and go visit yourselves. Yeah. When you're immersed in that, in the rooms full of paintings, full of statues, you really get transported into a different space, and the way you view the world, the way you view how things just kind of came to be, and how we as a civilization, as culture, have evolved in the past maybe several hundred years. Yeah. All right. And oh shoot. Oh god, I should do this as well. All right, let's first watch a little bit of a short video on the history of the Louvre. So this is one of the official videos from the Louvre explaining how the building itself, the Louvre Palace, came to be. And here we go. I hope I hope it's not too loud. Oh. Okay. Alright, there we go.
From a medieval fortress to an art museum, the Louvre Palace has undergone 8 centuries of architectural transformation, making it an embodiment of French history. In the Middle Ages, to protect the city, King Philippe Auguste built a square defensive fortress between the Seine and the walls of Paris. 1.5 centuries later, in the heart of the city now enclosed by a new outer wall, the Louvre fortress was converted into a royal residence by King Charles V. François I used the castle as his main residence, but it was his son, Henri II, who had the first wing of the modern palace built, which would become a prime example of the French Renaissance style. When Henri II died, his widow, Catherine de' Medici, started building and designing the Tuileries Palace and its gardens for her personal use outside the city walls. King Henri IV had the Grande Galerie built on the waterfront to join the Louvre to the Tuileries Palace. At 460 meters, it was the longest building ever seen in Paris, and the first milestone of an ambitious project that would continue under his successors.
Ooh.
At the beginning of his reign, Louis XIV had the Cour Carrée made to its current dimensions and extended the Tuileries Palace, where he lived before leaving the Louvre to move permanently to the Château de Versailles. The Tuileries was used as the seat of power during the French Revolution. In 1793, the Muséum Central des Arts opened in the Grande Galerie of the Louvre. Emperor Napoleon I created a focal point for the Tuileries Garden with the Arc de Carrousel, dedicated to his armies, and had a gallery constructed to unite the northern parts of the two palaces. To complete the works to unite the Louvre and Tuileries that had been ongoing since Henri IV's reign, Emperor Napoleon III boosted construction efforts and built new wings on either side of the Cour Napoleon. He doubled the size of the Louvre and completed the great architectural project undertaken by the kings of France. The Louvre survived the town fire of 1871 that engulfed the Tuileries Palace almost scathe-free. Once the ruins had been fully removed in 1883, the Louvre continued to change, acquiring its symbolic glass pyramid, marking the entrance to the museum in the 20th century.
Oh, this glass pyramid? Okay. All right. This glass pyramid is one of the largest source of controversy in the latest 20 years of the Louvre's history. But I hope the audio was fine. Everything was going through. If there's anything that sounds weird or you guys notice that shouldn't probably be there, please let me know and I'll try to change it. I had no clue there was more than one Napoleon. Yeah. So the first one, in ancient history, a lot of people like to name their children after themselves. So at first there was Napoleon I, the famous Louis XIV. There's all the way until like 16 Louis, I believe. There's a few Henris as well. There's a few Napoleons. But we will save the French history to a little bit later. I'm going to be going over French history in a little bit more detail, probably. I hope not enough to kind of bore everyone. I don't want this to be like a like a history class, but we will cover French history and the changing of reigns and the changing of periods, dynasties, into to French, like the French monarchy and the empire a little bit later tomorrow during our Palace of Versailles stream. Yo, a little teaser for you guys. Okay, and so Oh, no. Okay, wait. All right, there we go. The history of the Louvre. So the history of the Louvre, like you guys saw, started with a medieval fortress built to kind of what's it called? Defend France from the English. And because at this time, the English actually controlled part of the French continent. They controlled the Normandy area, and so they were actually a pretty big threat. And so the Louvre was built as a medieval fort to try and defend the English troops and help France kind of like consolidate its forces and focus on a defensive position in the Paris region. And so so a lot of these historical paintings actually that featured the Louvre showed tall walls with high towers and high kind of structures. And also includes a moat, I believe. Yeah, you can see it a little bit in the top right painting on the bottom. And so, yeah. Hello, Quirkus. Welcome. And so the history also, we started to see more and more of this as the Louvre was kind of transformed into a museum in the 18th century? No, wait. 19th century, I believe. Yeah. Had to do a little bit of accounting there. But before that, it was used as a royal residence, and you can see like the Louvre kind of slowly evolving to include more and more buildings in its kind of complex. And in this picture in the middle here on the top shows the first excavation of the medieval fort of the Louvre. Yeah. And I believe this was in 1866. So the kind of importance of history, the restoration, and the kind of sense of trying to record the important moments of French history was started all the way back in the 19th century, in the mid 19th centuries, as I believe it was Louis the 16th that changed the Louvre into a museum, but I might be wrong on that. I will need to go fact check. And so it continued to grow as a kind of as a museum, including more and more pieces and collecting a lot of its 500,000 collection 500,000 size collection over the years. And I actually have a few personal videos I took. And so actually I forgot to mention this, but I think a significant majority of the pictures and the videos in this presentation, I suppose, or today's stream will actually be pictures that I took myself. And so I'll try to share it with you guys and hopefully include more of a story perspective instead of just like listing facts, listing historical points. I'll try to share what it feels like and what it feels like to be surrounded by so many cool paintings, so many awesome exhibits, and also try to tell the story of these exhibits. I want to focus on trying not to just be like a virtual guide kind of stream, and more share my own knowledge, share the things that I kind of learned over time about the Louvre. And so, yeah, this is actually my second visit to the Louvre. I did 2 visits during my stay here, but this is my second time in Paris visiting the Louvre. My first time actually was in 2019. I don't remember exactly, but we had an Airbnb. My family and I had an Airbnb across the Louvre, so it was very, very easy to walk 1 block over and visit the Louvre. At that time, I could enter for free, and so there were just afternoons where we had nothing planned. We'd done all the sightseeings, right? And I would stroll over to the Louvre and just sit in one of those painting rooms by myself for the entire afternoon and just like stare at a piece of artwork, trying to notice all the detail, all the hard work that the artist put in, like the months and months and months of work that usually takes for one of those like wall-sized huge paintings, and try to spot all those little Easter eggs, little stories that you can't really see from just a picture on a on your computer screen. Yeah, but here, let's go. I should also this is kind of how it looks like to to walk out of the subway, and this is what you're kind of greeted with. There's a little hallway. If we actually go back to there's a little hallway before you enter the courtyard. Oh, okay, I can't use the arcades. I'll try to remember that. The courtyard. Yeah, this is actually a picture I took of the courtyard. It's a very, very beautiful space, and I waited a long, long time for this picture. I tried to wait for the sunset, but actually the Paris sunset is so late. I believe it's averaging around 9:30 to 10 p.m. recently, and so I had to wait very, very long for this picture. The setting sun is hitting the front of the Louvre perfectly, and the flag is like floating in the background. Yeah, it's so pretty. Definitely worth it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really enjoy just like immersing myself in a city, in a historical place. And so it was very fun just like walking around, sitting around in the kind of courtyard in the square area with beautiful architecture and just like everyone who's here from all over the world visiting the palace. Yeah. And I think I included another one. Let's see. Yeah. Ta-da. Ooh, this is actually this is actually what you first see walking in from the metro station that I took. And I believe I also have a little video. Yeah. Okay. And so after you walk through the tunnel, walk through the little corridor, you enter. There's a lot of people like kind of showing off their talents as well near these popular tourist sites. So there's a guy in the back singing a song. That's my shadow. Yeah. Okay. I think I need to do this. But it's a very, very beautiful site. And I believe this was around 8 to 9 p.m. And the Louvre usually closes at 6:30. So I was hanging around for like 2 extra hours. Or I think it was near 9. Yeah. Okay. But let's get into actually entering the museum. Yeah. Oh, okay, wait. Ta-da! We are going down. Once you enter the, I wasn't allowed to film the process because there was security. But once you enter through the glass pyramids, the famous, famous glass pyramids, you go down the escalators, and this is kind of what you see. You're greeted with a very, very expansive view of the sky above, and also the kind of center area in the bottom floor, in the -1 floor. And let's see if we have. Okay. Oh, wait. Wait, no. There we go. I messed up the order, but this is the first floor that you will be entering. You will go down the escalators once you enter through the pyramids, and this is where the square is. Actually, it's in -2, but we'll start with -1. And so you can choose to enter through 3 different wings, and I believe I went through the middle one, which is called the Sully Wing, and we will see a very, very beautiful first room of the exhibits, showing off a lot of the Greek and Roman statues that were produced in the 1400s, maybe a little earlier. I don't remember the exact dates, but I'll have to go back now. Ta-da!
Whoa.
Oh, I forgot I spoke. Yeah, but this is where you kind of walk into at the first level. You can see a little bit of the outsides, and just the way these museums.
Dear. Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah, just the way a lot of these museums present these statues in a room full of marble and marble floors and stone pillars, just really transport you into a different world. And so if we kind of go forward, the first one of these is actually Oh, right. I forgot. This is actually a special exhibit that was going on in the Louvre because, as you guys probably know, Paris is hosting the 2024 Olympics. And so the Louvre held a special exhibition of the history of the Olympic Games and how it came to be, how the trophies started off, how the marathons first got introduced into the into the Olympic Games in the 1900s, I believe. And so, yeah, here we go. Doo-doo. As you guys can see, like a lot of these Olympic Games were captured in historical antiques. And on the bottom right here is the first one, which is I believe, a Greek vase depicting the Olympic Games from a long, long time ago. And the ones above shows the first, I believe this is the first Olympic trophy. And these Olympic trophies were actually tell a very interesting tale because some of the, during the restoration and the periods trying to like excavate a lot of these art antiques, the what's it called? The researchers, the researchers weren't sure what to do with them because they didn't know if these were the first ones or how the stories came to be. But they found a collection of 4 trophies, and there weren't any more found. And so that's where we currently believe the first trophies of the Olympic Games are were made. And so you can see a few of them depicts different kind of like events and different flowers as well. I believe that's some flowers. Can't really see from here. But one of the most important things at the exhibit is this drawing of the first, what's it called? The first marathon being completed at the Olympic Games. I believe the marathon was introduced in 1906. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I read. That's what I read at the Louvre. But yeah, and so it was really interesting to see kind of the history of the Olympic Games and evolving slowly over time. And yeah, to today, where the Olympic Games will start in, I believe, less than 10 days, or maybe just a little over 10 days. 11 days, because the opening ceremony is on the 26th, I believe. Yeah, today was also a very, very important day for the Olympic torch relay. It started a few months ago, and today was the day that that the torch arrived in Paris. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter or on the news that people were posting about a BTS member called Jin, I believe. I'm not very into K-pop, so I don't know, but a BTS member arrived at the Louvre to hold a short leg of the of the Olympic Flames relay, Olympic torch relay. So that was very, very interesting to see. Yeah, okay. And that's all I have about the Olympism exhibits. And we'll go over, there's a lot of other, let me go back. There's a lot of other interesting kind of like historical, what's it called? Artworks, and some about all over the world. Like you can see there's Greeks, there's Islamic, there's Eastern and Egyptian art. There's also European, but like before the kind of medieval times. There's also some statues of horses and stuff. And a cool little exhibit of the history of the Louvre. And that's where I first saw the YouTube video of the Louvre being like built over the times, and K-popers are everywhere. Yeah, it's so interesting to see that they decided to fly a K-pop idol for an Olympic torch relay. But it was very interesting to see. Oh, and also today was actually Bastille Day, so there was a very cool military parade that also went on. Bastille Day is we'll talk a little bit about it later, but Bastille Day is very, very important to French culture, as it was the day that that the Paris people stormed the Bastille prison. That kind of like symbolizes a turning point in the French Revolution, I believe. Yeah. Okay. All right, we move on to level 0. In Europe, the ground floor is actually called the the ground floor, actually. And on elevators and on a lot of these floor plans, it's tagged with a 0, the 0th floor. So, yeah. Oh, I do want to warn everyone that there will be some parts of nudity, especially with like a lot of these sculptures. And if you guys do not want to see that, please tune away. But yeah, welcome, Swifty. Hello. Naked statues. Yep. And speaking of naked statues, the first one is one of the first installments of our a mini series, I suppose, of artworks called masterpieces. And so this one is called Venus de Milo, which translates to basically the Aphrodite of Milo. And that's where like they found this statue. And basically, Venus is the Roman name for the Greek goddess of love called Aphrodite, and it was introduced to the Louvre in the 19th century, 1862. Wait. I should get some fact checking going on. Okay, so okay, well, we'll start off with like basically the history of the statue. It was believed to be created in around 100 BC, and basically it was a Greek ancient statue depicting Aphrodite, and a very, very interesting feature, as you guys probably noticed, that that her arms are actually not cut off, but in the state that they found it, the statue's arms were not there, and they couldn't really identify around the ruins of the discovery site which pieces of which statue belonged to Venus de Milo. And so there was a popular theory of, because there was a hand of an apple that was near the statue when they first found it, there's a popular theory of the statue was supposed to be holding an apple and the other arm's kind of just like there. And so that was one of the kind of like biggest possible theories. But another kind of like piece of the statues in the ruins was a shield. And so other people believed that the statue actually held a shield and she was in a defensive position because of the way her body kind of like contorts backwards as well. And so and also because Aphrodite is actually, I believe, married to the god of war in ancient Greek mythology, Mars. I forgot the Greek name, but I believe the Roman name is called Mars, and so that's where you kind of get the Mars and Venus from. Yeah, Aries, right, Aries. But our planets are named after the Roman version of the god. Yeah. Okay, and in this room, oh right, the second picture over here depicts kind of like the first installation of where they put the Venus de Milo, the statue of Aphrodite, inside a room, kind of like first welcoming the guests. As you guys probably can see, it kind of resembles where we first entered into the Louvre, and so there's that very, very iconic checkered marble floors, and it's kind of like the centerpiece welcoming all the guests. It arrived in the Louvre in 1820s. No, yeah. Oh, it was discovered in 1820s, and it arrived in the Louvre, I believe, a few years after that. And so, at that time, for Louis the 16th, what's it called? They, I believe, just lost a very, very important war. So a lot of the artworks were returned to the rightful owners in around Europe. And so they were kind of like desperately looking for an important piece of statue or artwork to represent the Louvre as it was being transformed into a museum. And so the king welcomed the statue in and kind of plopped it right in the center. And funnily enough, in this room, they actually took out a lot of the other statues so the visitors can focus their gaze onto this beautiful statue of Aphrodite. And I took I took a picture of the statue over here on the left, and it's a very, very beautiful and astounding kind of piece of work because of the way the body is represented is like it's kind of crazy to imagine that these are all stone statues. These are all stone statues. Like the way their facial expressions, their hair even is represented. It just feels very, very crazy. And you can see like the fabric on her lower half is just it's amazing how these things are created. I often wonder like is it possible for us to do something similar? You'd imagine that it's probably easier in the current age, right, to be able to create something as lifelike as accurately depicting a human, but but at the same time, because of like ease of access to machinery, knowledge, and kind of just like years and years of experience and history to build on. But I'm not sure. Seeing these statues in this room, I'm not that sure anymore. Okay, I should move my head around a bit out. After seeing so many different I'm not sure if it's just hobbyists or art students, but there were a lot of people that set up their little their little chair in this statue room and started to try and sketch a lot of these art pieces, and that really got me inspired. But I didn't have my my sketchbook, so I went back home and took out my sketchbook. This is actually my first sketch in this new book. I got it a few months ago, but I was a little bit hesitant to start because because I know I get really busy and drop this, so I kind of just left it empty, left it blank. But seeing so many people appreciate artworks from hundreds and hundreds of years ago, I got inspired and did a little quick sketch in in 30 minutes, I believe. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Wonky Slush. Okay, it's totally possible, just not really taught, unfortunately. These statues probably took a long time to make, and not like Photoshop. That's true. A few rich dudes are willing to pay for a block of marble and a ton of working hours. That might be true. If there is significant demand. But speaking of this, actually, yeah, you have to wonder if it's worth it to make something like this now. And so maybe the level of artistic expression has decreased over time, but then you see like beautiful artworks on Twitter being posted and shared so readily, and I don't know, that might not be true, but I will say there's a lot less sticking power to a piece of work. Like you spend so many hours in this time period like the 100 BCs to make something, and you can put it up there and expect it to stay there. But on Twitter or something, as an artist, once you post a work, it's like being shared or being liked, and however, it's very fleeting, right? These artworks are being seen for a few hours, maybe a day, maybe a few days, and that's it. But oh, right, I did notice there was the most recent. I looked through a lot of the installations, and the most recent piece of artwork I can find is a statue of a book of some books and like a pigeon, I think. I didn't take a picture of it. I forgot, but it was made in 2007. So I believe the Louvre is still taking taking applications, I suppose. But yeah, that was very very inspiring to see. And I did a little quick sketch here. You can see in the middle. That's my drawing. It was not very good. I couldn't really capture the realistic face. I think I made her look a little bit too condescending or too disproving. And I didn't do a very good job of the hair, but you know, I'm happy with it with my current art skills. But there's a long road to go. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to a few other statues. And so, yeah. The first one is Cupid's Kiss. I didn't have a second picture here, so we're just gonna go back to this one. And the Cupid's Kiss tells a very very interesting tale, and it's basically a statue created. The full name is called Psyche Revived by Cupid's Kiss. And so it's a stunning marble statue, as you can probably tell, of created between 1787 and 1793. We're not really sure about the specific dates, but it slowly found its way to the Louvre over the years, and it captures a moment between between the Roman myth of the Cupid, who is the son of Aphrodite, and also Psyche. And in the famous work by Apelles, I believe. And Psyche is a mortal woman so beautiful that people started to worship her as the goddess of beauty instead of Venus, or instead of Aphrodite, who slowly got a little jealous, and so she sent her son Cupid to make Psyche fall in love with a hideous monster, to like kind of ruin her life, right? And so however, the twist is that Cupid here actually fell in love with Psyche, and so this in this mythology, in this story, it tells of the resilience of their love and the kind of the forbidden nature, I suppose, between a god and a mortal woman. And yeah, so the statue kind of tries to depict the resilience of their love, but also the the their passion. And it's a very very stunning piece of work, and I wasn't able to really kind of show that in my picture, but you can see it's a very exaggerated posture, and the wings are in the most the perfect spots. Seems like Cupid was successful. Yeah, at least in the story. A lot of these mythological stories have been told and retold several times, and so when this is a rendition of that, the statue is a rendition of that story. It it kind of shows the most optimistic things, shows the most important, I think, tries to represent the story in one motion, right? Seeing physical pieces and learning the stories behind them is so beautiful. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to kind of like tell today and what I'm trying to like represent. But we can move on to two statues, a pair of statues by Michelangelo, and they are titled The Slaves. On the right, it's no. Ooh, okay, let me check. So they are called the Dying Slave and the Rebellious Slave, and these are a pair of statues placed together in the Louvre on kind of like below on the other side of the first floor, so the other wing. And so the Dying Slave depicts a young man kind of like in a tragic pose in the center here, and kind of looks like he's wait, I have to no, the Dying Slave is on the left, I think. And so this pose kind of shows him like appearing to be asleep. And okay, I should look it up because I don't remember. Okay, which one's the Dying Slave? Yeah. Okay, the Dying Slave is the one in the center. Sorry about that. Oh no, I'm messing it up. The Dying Slave is the one in the center, and it depicts the slave in a kind of like sleeping state, but also a very, very, I guess, dynamic pose. And it shows the slave being a lot more relaxed, trying to accept the fate that's coming to him. And on the left here, I wasn't able to get a better picture, but shows shows the rebellious slave, the slave that's trying to break free from its from enslavement, I suppose. His face kind of shows agony and resistance, and highlighting the intense motions and a lot of the physical struggles that it has. And okay, so the purpose behind the creations of these two sculptures were for Pope Julius II, which is supposed to be a huge the tomb of the Pope, and Michelangelo intended this to be a grand kind of like multi-figured monument, but because of some historical setbacks, and the Pope's death, the project was scaled down. So there's only two sculptures created for the tomb. And however, it still is very, very impactful. The placing them in the tomb really showed a lot of like emotional impact to the visitors. And but slowly over time, it found its way over to the Louvre, and that's where it is on exhibit for I don't have the year, but it's been here for a long time. I believe longer than what's it called? Longer than the statue of Aphrodite. Okay. And then we move on to the first floor. This is basically where all the treasures and all the beautiful, most famous paintings lie in the entire museum. And so for the next kind of piece of artwork in our masterpieces collection is the Mona Lisa. Probably the most famous the most famous piece of work in history, right? Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci sits in this huge room and faces up to, I believe, hundreds of millions of visitors each year. And yeah, it was a statue. I'm not going to go too in detail into like the history of this piece of work because I'm sure you guys probably know a little bit, right? It's by Leonardo da Vinci. It's like created in the 1500s ish. And so, but this is actually a painting. I'll talk a little bit about who this person is, and it's a portrait that depicts Lisa Guerrero. Oh, I'm not very bad at these names. Gherardini, basically a wife of a very rich Italian merchant, I believe. And so the other name for the Mona Lisa is called La Gioconda. Conda, yeah. I hope I'm saying these names correctly. Oh gosh. Yeah, but okay, enough of history. I want to really talk about the impact that this piece of artwork has. And so when you enter this room, first of all, there's like a huge painting on the other side. I'll show you guys later. But even though this painting is so small, it's placed on a gigantic black wall, right? It's able to draw your gaze towards it. And for some reason, when you stare at the painting from, it is a very popular observation, I suppose. From any angle in the room, when you look at the painting, it looks like the painting is looking back at you. If you move your head around this, if you move your head around your computer screen, you might be able to see the same effects on this picture, but it's much less pronounced. In the room, it just looks like this painting, the woman on the painting is staring into your soul. It's a very freaky experience. My first time seeing it, it made such a huge impression on me because we also visited at the height of tourism, like in the summer weeks during where school is out, and the room is just packed full. There was a queue outside the room in my first visits, and people would be kind of like ushered out and slowly let in, and you like try to squeeze your way to the front, but but this time around there's a lot less people, but I wasn't really in the mood. There's still so many people here. Like in the middle of the picture, this was like at least 100 or so. I didn't do it. I didn't do a specific count, but yeah. But the Mona Lisa's history in the Louvre also was not the easiest. As you guys can probably see here, there's a gigantic glass pane that protects the painting from anything that could happen to it. Any bullets, spray paint from like some recent environmental activists, a lot of different attacks, and I believe this is also a thing that like moves the painting in case of any emergencies, fires, and stuff like that. And it was actually stolen from the Louvre in the 1911 and eventually recovered in 1913. So there was 2 entire years. The painting was gone from the museum because of thieves and stuff, and its history of being vandalized is not a short list. We'll just put it that way. But because of like the extensive methods, ways the museum tries to protect this painting, it's actually really well preserved. Yeah. Hello, Ellie. Welcome. Yeah. We're slowly visiting, going through all the Louvre's exhibits, and yeah. So this is one of the most probably famous paintings, probably the most famous painting in the world. Oh, right. There is one more thing I want to talk about. This is kind of like baffled all the different, what's it called? All the different art historians, but as you guys can probably tell from the Mona Lisa, the left side and the right side of the background doesn't really match up. As you guys can see, like the horizon line here and the way the river is on the left side doesn't match with the fields that's kind of like depicted in possibly a river in the background near kind of like where her nose is on the right. And it's just been very confusing to a lot of these art historians. People try to say, oh, maybe it's trying to depict, since this is the wife of a very, very famous merchant. It may be trying to depict like their status through like her going to a lot of places or just owning estates or something like that. But yeah. And so another interesting thing, as you guys can probably tell, the Mona Lisa doesn't have eyebrows. And so there's no one explanation for this. There's no one explanation for why this woman in this picture has no paintings. There's several kind of like attempts trying to explain why it's possibly that this painting has no eyebrows. One of them is through over the centuries of kind of like painting, restoration and cleaning. The painting has undergone so much restoration efforts, and so it was believed that during one of those cleanings that actually the eyebrows and the eyelashes might have been removed, and so people going after it wasn't sure what to do, and so they just kept the removed eyebrows and eyelashes as a way to just like try not to ruin the painting more. If you like go on and draw the eyebrows back, that would probably not fit. And there's also another explanation, and it's just Leonardo da Vinci's style at that time. Maybe the way of representing women, no eyebrows looked more natural or more popular. And so it might have been painted very faintly and just faded over time, or intentionally left out by the artist himself. And so, this also might have been one of his like exploratory pieces. Trying things out, trying out no eyebrows and seeing how it looks. But we just don't really know. Yeah, so intention, in kind of like in relation to that, there's also perhaps it was kind of just the fashion trend at that time. So there was something like plucking eyebrows going on at that time, so it was like one of the possible reasons why there's no eyebrows in this painting. But yeah. Without eyebrows, Mona Lisa still looks and became the world's most famous painting. Okay. Yeah, I've never noticed she doesn't have eyebrows. Yeah, it doesn't look weird, right? It doesn't have any significant like red flags that go on in your head. It's kind of one of the things that just you notice after someone mentioned, but before that, you never really notice anything wrong significantly with the painting. Like my first time seeing the picture of the Mona Lisa, I had no idea about the way the background doesn't look the same. And it was only through the first tour through the museum and listening to the audio guide that I first heard about this kind of like the same level of like question marks towards this piece of artwork. Why no eyebrows? Why background weird? And people are just confused. There's no like, artist notes on the bottom or on the back of the painting. Yeah. I just assume she herself had really light eyebrows. Yeah, that could possibly be one of the explanations. And the pigment just faded over time because of because of how long ago this painting was created. But okay, enough about the Mona Lisa. We go on to our next piece of artwork that's in our masterpieces collection. Notes would probably be like, was too bored to make background better. I don't know. This was a very, very famous commission, I believe. So this rich merchant paid a lot. Yeah, but we move on to the Winged Victory. And the full name of this statue is called the Winged Victory of I need to search up how to pronounce this. Winged Victory of Samothrace? Oh god. I think I have the full name on the next slide. But basically, it's also known as Nike of Nike? Nike? I think it's Nike. I don't know, one of those two. Which depicts the goddess of victory, and that's why it's called Winged Victory. And so, when it first came to the Louvre, it actually was not very, very significant, because in the first state of the statue, the wings were not there. The wings actually fell off of the statue. And so in the Louvre, it sat kind of like in the corner for several years before it eventually got people found out about the wings and brought it to the Louvre and attached it to this statue, and instantly, even without head and without arms, the statue became a centerpiece. The statue currently sits in one of the biggest staircases in the Louvre, the center kind of like area. Let's see if I can go back to this place. Yeah, it sits right here. It sits, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but on the bottom, you can see next to the Mona Lisa, there's the Winged Victory of Samothrace. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Harper. Yeah. But, let's go back. Yeah. It welcomes visitors as they walk up from the ground floor on the right entrance into, I forgot the name, Danon Wing. You can see, like, here's kind of where they first go up. I forgot. You guys probably can't see my mouse. And so around 700 here, or basically on the right side, in the middle of the red area, is where people kind of walk up. And so it welcomes them to the Louvre, sitting on the top of this staircase. And you can see on the left side that this is what it looks like front on, right? This is what it looks like. It's known as Samothrace. Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But this is what the statue looked like. It's supposed to be kind of like the piece, I forgot the name, but like the piece on the front of a ship, right? What's the name? Let me see. The prow of a stone ship, which is also, you can see on the bottom here, part of the exhibit. And however, it's important to note that the statue is not supposed to be looked on front on, because it doesn't have the same, like, as you can see here, it doesn't have the same effect as the first picture first image we saw of the statue. So, haha. You move on, and then you can see it's supposed to be looked on at the bow. Yes, yes, yes. The bow. And so it's supposed to be looked at from a 3/4 view from the left side, and you can finally see the full effect, the full impact of the statue. And it's very famous for missing the head and the arms, and however, the dynamic and dramatic pose of the statue really captures captures the audience. And so the goddess depicts as if she's descending from the heavens, her wings still outstretched, and her clothing's rippled in the front of the ship, at the bow of the ship. And so it was created supposedly to celebrate a naval victory. However, we don't really know. As you guys can probably tell, missing the head and the arms, we know very, very little about the statue. But just the dynamic pose and the dramatic effects of the statue really makes a lasting effect on the viewers, on the audience. And so yeah. It looks more dynamic. I don't know if it's the right word to describe it. Yeah, but I think if you go back to this picture, you can kind of tell the wings on this statue just bring out so much more. Even though the clothes and even though the body still represents a lot of the of the goddess of victory, kind of her march forward, I suppose. The wings add so much to this statue. So as you guys know, as I mentioned earlier, not having the wings, the statue was kind of just put to the side. No one really cared about it until the wings finally were found and attached to the statue, that it instantly became famous. It instantly became a mainstay at the Louvre. But yeah, okay, all right. I need a quick short break. Ooh, I have, I believe, raspberry pistachio. For my macaroons, I have raspberry, pistachio, vanilla, and also strawberry. Which one should I get first? I'll try the strawberry one. Out of curiosity, how do you feel about gambling? I'm not sure. I don't see how it relates to the statues. Or do you mean just a completely separate topic? Yes. Sorry, my stream might be a little bit behind, so I wasn't really sure of what your wording was. Yeah. I didn't want to just read off of script. I don't want to just read off of a script that, word for word that I wrote before. So I'm going at it with just my own knowledge of the statues, the things I learned at the museum, the things I learned before, the things I kind of just figured out or searched up by myself when I'm bored. Because I'm a huge museum nerd. I know a lot of these stories by heart. How this artwork, who this artwork is by, how this artwork came to the Louvre, and what are the stories behind it. So I'm actually just trying to rely on my previous knowledge, at least for the Louvre. I'm a lot more familiar with the artworks in the Louvre compared to some of the later stuff in the Palace of Versailles tomorrow. And so for that one, I'll do a little bit more research. Yeah. Oh no, just entire off topic. don't know where I was going with that. I used to. Okay, all right. Well, small tangent from the stream. I used to be into CS:GO skins gambling, but I noticed that it was a bad thing pretty early on, and I stopped very quickly. And so I'm very proud of myself to have like, a lot of self-control when it comes to a lot of these things, gambling, smoking, drinking, and so I try to stay clear of it like with a 6 foot pole. And so yeah, I think we have had this talk before. Yeah. So like today is a little bit of an exception. I wanted to make sure I'm not too nervous. So but also embrace the French culture of drinking. And so we have a little bit of rosé here, but definitely not enough to to get as drunk as how I was on the drunk stream a few weeks ago now. Oh god. Room temperature wine does feel a lot less, does taste a lot less good than before. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this macaroon I think was like Japanese flavored. I think with like sakura flavors. It's interesting taste. But all right, let's move on to the next one. Ta-da! The next piece of artwork that is probably the most famous for the most famous painting that like has ties to liberty, freedom, and all that stuff. The one that like represents France is liberty leading the people. And so this is a this is a wonderful painting. Let me find the year. I don't remember the years, so look it up. In 1830s by Eugene Delacroix. Oh god, I'm really bad with these French names. But yeah, it shows a kind of like a dramatic pose and kind of like a chaotic scene by of the goddess of Lady Liberty leading the French people in this revolution. This flag here shows that's being shown in the painting is still currently the French flag, but it's actually the flag of the revolution as well. So it commemorates the July Revolution, which overthrew King Charles X in French history. But we'll go into the depth of history tomorrow as we visit the Palace of Versailles. But today we will just kind of like experience these paintings, and try to like get a feeling of its presence. And so these are my pictures now. And the one on the left depicts the painting, right? And the one on the right, I really wanted to make it so you guys also got to see like the rooms that these paintings are in, and it was hung in this like grand gallery of all the different paintings. However, even with so many other paintings to compete for eyeballs, this painting, literally leading the people, was still like the most how do I say this? The one that captures your attention the most because um like in front of the painting there's a never-ending line of people trying to take pictures with it. People just like either sitting on the bench appreciating the photo, or tourist guides walking over and talking with the group about the painting. And so everyone, when they walk through this gallery, walk through this hallway, they instantly turn their head toward the picture. The bright red, the bright colors, and the woman in the center of with like this halo effect behind her just draws people's attention towards this picture. The way the people are who like are being trampled, I think these like are representing the French soldiers, but also on the left side there are the people that that died in this revolution. Just tells a very very a very very inspiring story for the people of France in this revolution. Mm. You can see like some rich people, mostly poor people, right? Women, men, children, all of these people, all from different walks of life, kind of uniting in their strength for a single purpose, and that purpose of liberty. People also think that this little child here is supposed to represent this new France being born, the youthful and energy and the bright future that France has after overthrowing the monarchy. And oh wait, okay. So the guy with the top hat is not supposed to be the aristocrats. It's supposed to be the middle class, and the guy with the kind of like the shirt, sorry, is supposed to be the working class. And then there's also women who's like crawling towards the goddess, right? And everyone is supposed to be represented here. It's supposed to be a very very um what's the word I'm looking for? Oh god. Encompassing, maybe? Or everyone can relate to this painting, I suppose. And you probably saw this painting before, like with the context of freedom, with the context of liberty, with the context of trying to fight back against a system. And it's kind of the cover art of liberty and America sometimes as well. Because the French and American ties during the hundred years, no, French and Indian War, I think, strengthened this image in America as well. Yeah. All right, we move on to the next painting, the next floor, and and so we'll be going over a few other paintings that I saw that were really kind of like impactful. I don't have the stories behind many of these paintings, and this segment will just be a little bit of a what's it called? Like, show and tell. Maybe not, maybe less on the tell side. Just a showing off all the different other cool parts of the Louvre with so many paintings, right? Out of the 500,000 paintings, only about like 3,000, I believe, are on display. And so many of these paintings, have little stories about them. But here we go. Oh, Saz, I'm late. Just got back from home. Yeah, welcome, Kayla. Okay, so for the first one is one of the more famous ones. Oh, I forgot the name. It's okay. Let me look it up. In the room of sorry about that. Okay. The wedding feast at Cana. And so this is kind of like one of the same pictures that on the same tier of of the Last Supper for religious purposes, and it depicts Jesus at turning water into wine at this festival, at the wedding fest of Cana at Galilee, and as described in the Gospel of John. And this miracle was kind of like significant for the first public miracle performed by Jesus. And this painting was by Palio Veronis, and in the sorry. When was this? Oh, sorry, 1563. Yeah, and it's huge. It's huge. So when you first saw this picture, the image of the painting of the wedding fest is on the left side here. All these pictures looking towards it, all these people looking towards it, were actually looking at looking at this painting, and it's massive. Its size is about like 6 meters tall and about 10 meters wide. And for reference in freedom units, that's about 22 feet by 32 feet, I think. I might be a little off, but yeah. There's a few other paintings I kind of want to show off. I really personally love the Impressionism art style. The Impressionism, what's it called? The Impressionism age in art history. But some of the other pictures that really captured me were like this picture of above me right here, depicting this boat and some people on the beach next to a fire, and this light. The way this picture the painting I keep calling it a picture because it looks so realistic. The lights from the moon or the sun shining on the ocean and kind of like reflecting from the waters. It just feels unreal. Even though it's so realistic in this picture, it feels so what's the word? I don't have a I should expand my vocabulary for trying to describe these pictures. But it just feels so majestic and also like impressive in this frame that I just took a picture of it. I kind of like involuntarily pointed my phone at the painting and snapped a photo to like mark down and want to share with you guys. Yeah, it's almost like a picture. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so many paintings in the past have been so impressive. Like I mentioned in a in a little segment before, I often wonder, can we still do these things? I know this painting probably took months for this artist to complete. Are we still able to make them? Are we still able to create something like this? Surreal, ephemeral? I think those are good ways to describe this. Yeah, it's a little bit of an eerie feeling as well, because you can't really tell whether this thing in the sky is a sun or the moon, right? Is it the sun? But then it's supposed to like light up the painting a little bit more, but it doesn't really look like it because the way the fire is able to light up the scene also maybe suggests that this is the moon. If I knew the name of the painting, I probably could look it up right now, but I have to do a little bit of digging. This looks like a dream image somehow. Yeah, but like, I agree. But there's also a way that is so like, so possible, I suppose. That's not the most perfect way to describe it, but like it looks so like just normal as well that it can happen in the past at any point. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to include it here. On the second page, I have a lot more of the impressionism stuff. Hello, RJ. Welcome. We're doing a little bit of a tour and of the Louvre, and so I made 2 trips this time around, and I really wanted to share all the cool things that I saw. I think this is towards the end of the journey, but yeah, I'll still try to like talk a lot about the cool stuff that I saw. Okay, and so the most impressive piece of impressionism I use kind of like similar words there, but is this middle piece on the top. I don't really know what it's trying to depict. I think it's just a field in the autumn times, but it gives you the feeling that it's not very clear, right? The impressionist style isn't usually very like you can tell exactly what's going on in a picture. However, it gives you the feeling of being in the scene, being in this moment with this artist, and a little bit of like how your memory is a little fuzzy sometimes when you remember something from years and years ago. You only kind of keep track of the most important things, how it feels to be there, some of the colors. You don't remember the exact details of a certain scene, and it's especially pronounced for a lot of the scenery paintings in this time period, right? There's the famous I think water lilies is also considered impressionism, so like that style in by Monet, right? Water lilies by Monet, and this picture of just this random field here really captured my attention because if you were in this field, if you actually visited this location that the artist depicted, this is probably what you would remember from your experience there, from this moment of the sky that had a lot of clouds, but the blue sky peeking over behind it a little bit on the right side, the autumn trees on the right being kind of like this brown blob, this orange brown mixture, the fields, there's like not a lot of significant lines and outlines and things in the field, so you kind of just see a vast blob as well. So yeah, I don't know, I don't really understand why I just fell in love with impressionist painting, but every time I go to a museum I always want to know whether if they have a great impressionist collection or not, and that's the thing that I always spend the most time on. I think it's probably because of the way I like to enjoy museums, and it's just to sit there without an audio guide in my ear, without people telling me exactly what a painting is supposed to be, and just experiencing the painting for myself, having my own interpretation of what a painting is supposed to depict, what the artist is trying to tell me through this painting, without words, without detail, and just seeing where my own experience of this painting leads me. What's the name on the one on the bottom left? Ooh. I will ooh, let's see if I have Hmm. How could I figure this out? Alright, I'll tap. I hope that doesn't mess up the pictures. I can find out for you. I did take a picture to try and find out all the names of these pictures, of these paintings that I took, but I might have not taken the name card for this one. Bottom left here, it's the one with the boats, right? No. Ah, okay. I did not take a picture of the name. However, the writing on the frame, I can read to you. It's called Vernet, Vernet, Joseph, and it's from 1714 to 1789. I don't know if that has any significance, but maybe you can find the name of the painting from that. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I apologize. Yeah, I just kind of like took the pictures of the paintings that most impressed me. And so that's also why I took the top left photo and the middle bottom photo, is because the way of the top left photo depicts like this snowy scene, feels feels enchanting, feels a little bit cold, chilly. But the light that shines up behind the mountains and the way that it reflects on this frozen lake, really just captured my attention in this room. And so I snapped a quick picture. And also this bottom scene of like really, really vibrant colors depicting an open air market in the old times looks really cool. Yeah. And I especially really like the sky that's like being drawn here. It looks like a picture. Someone photoshopped the sky behind this ancient painting. And also, there's this very cool picture of the bather, and yeah, I think there's a little bit more history towards behind the painting of the bather. The bather. I don't know how to pronounce that. But let's see if I can find a little bit online. What was the first word? What Joseph? Vernet. Vernet. So okay, the bather. I'm just gonna call that the bather. I don't know. Is it's a classical portrayal of a woman woman entering kind of like the getting ready to go into the bath. And the main reason why it's so famous, why it's also, I think, on the map of the Louvre, is because of how clear the painting is, how like photo-like, how realistic the painting is. And it's a painting that's from actually the 20th century, completed in the 19th century, completed in 1808 by Jean Auguste Dominique Ingres. Yeah. I don't think there's a lot more to like the stars behind the picture, but it's just a very cool, realistic, painting. And I believe that. Oh. Wait, is that it? I think that concludes our journey in the Louvre. Yeah. Okay. Oh, let me. Oh no! Scuff. Let me add one more slide. Oops. All right. I made these slides beforehand, so they're just an image. But cool. Go back. Yep. Yeah. So that was it for the Louvre. I hope you guys enjoyed my little presentation, our little tour in the Louvre. It's a lot less. It was a lot less like scripted. I had a little note besides each painting, besides each slide. I wanted to talk a lot more, focus a lot more on my impressions and kind of the story behind it. But I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Yeah. But next time when we visit the Palace of Versailles, it will go a lot more into depth into the history behind the palace, the intricacies behind all the different paintings and the time periods that it matches, because in the Palace of Versailles it has a lot more paintings, not pictures, of the different monarchs and their time periods. It has a huge portion about Napoleon, right? And so yeah. Okay, right. After this, we will kind of like talk a little bit about more general things about the things that I felt visiting the Louvre. Yep. Let me try and. Ooh. Best tour guide. Thank you. Yeah, and let me try to switch on over to the just chatting screen. Yeah. Oh, it was around an hour and a half. I had planned originally for an hour, but we we yapped a little longer. Okay, I hope I didn't mess things up. But oh no. Why am I floating? Oh gosh. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's. I think. Okay, there we go. Okay, I definitely need to go back and watch the VOD. Yeah, I think there's a lot of the cool big portions that you kind of missed, Kayla. We talked a lot about the Mona Lisa, some of the statues. I really like statues. So that's why. Oh, wait. I think that the Where is the chat? Oh no. Oh god, Scuff. Statues are nice. Yeah, I personally really like statues, and so I'm kind of like, when I go to a museum, I don't really like the history parts, like the ancient portion. I really like Renaissance stuff, and so the chat seems to be missing. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I think I might have like hid it somewhere or left it out. I wonder, what did I do? Oh no. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh gosh. Okay. Cut left at the Louvre. Oh no. You guys are like lost children. There's so many lost children at the Louvre. Oh god. Okay, I think this part we'll just talk a little about my like personal art tastes and and some funny stories that I have about the Louvre. Okay, but first, let me find out what happened to you guys. No. Okay. Okay. I need to refresh some of these things. Because of how I set up the stream. Test. No. Okay. Okay, I'll just hide the box for now. Okay. Yeah. Syphu decided to drop us up and drop us off and didn't pick us up. Yeah. It's time for a night in the museum when everything comes alive and you guys have to fight. You guys have to fight all the all the statue monsters, statues of different Greek people and all the mythical monsters. There's a lot of yeah, I think a good way to frame it, if you don't really visit museums and if you don't really like are not familiar with a lot of the artistical art history, is like you can think of it like statues are the videos of the past. Statues are a lot more lifelike. They tend to tell a story. They tend to depict a moment of action, a moment of intense like intensity. Yeah. And so there's a lot of especially people like to make structures, make statues of either, you know, famous people as a way to like commemorate them, their life-like figure, but for portraits that happens a lot more often. But the other thing that gets sculpted into statues a lot is like historical what are they called? Like mythological... No, myth. No, myths. A lot of the myths, a lot of the stories from myths and mythology gets framed into statue. And so one of these you guys saw was the Cupid and Psyche, or Psyche revived by Cupid's kiss is the full name of the statue. And also you know, emotional depictions, and dramatic depictions of human emotions and human action. So the dying slave and the rebellious slave was also one of these depictions. So paintings are more like an image of the past, and so statues are more like videos of the past. I hope that's a good analogy or comparison. How could you? You left us? You... Okay, alright, fine. I'll try to figure out how to bring you guys back. Refresh cache. Does that fix things? No! Damn it. I have no idea why. Everything seems to be correct. Maybe I need some of the other programs to be running? Oh. Alright, fine. I'll turn on the throwing... Oh, sorry about that. We're goners. Oh, fine. I'll turn on throwing just in case that has something to do with it. What did you use for the chats? Let's see. Ow. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what happened. I'll check Stream Elements. Yeah, I use Stream Elements for chat, so hopefully things work again. But anyways, I hope that was interesting. We'll have a lot more to go over in the Palace of Versailles because of the musical gardens. Yeah, it's almost like a like a 2-in-1 tomorrow. We'll go over a lot of the details about about the French monarchy, especially towards the Louis the 14th and the 16th and Napoleon, and also I believe a little bit about Charles the 10th, who got overthrew in the July Rebellion, if you guys can remember from earlier. Overlays. Let's see, let me test. Does that show up? No. Okay. Save. Copy link. Maybe I need to replace the link. Are you guys somewhere else? Oh no! What happened? Oh well. Okay. Alright. Yo. But yeah, okay. So besides the Louvre, I'll talk a little bit about some of the funny things that happened happened during my visit. So yeah, what was it? I'm not the most punctual person, so like because of the Olympics, there's a huge influx of tourists, of people visiting the Louvre, visiting Paris, and so there's a new system that was in place at the Louvre, and one of the more significant parts of it is that everyone now has to reserve a ticket beforehand, before you could arrive at the pyramids in the courtyard, and yeah. So it, like, you have to reserve it a few hours beforehand at the latest, and one of my visits, I went there twice. I went to the Louvre twice, one during the morning and one during the evening. There was one day where ow, oh my god, that scared me. Oh god, I got so comfortable after not getting stuff thrown at me for so long. I'm still drinking my rosé though. What was I talking about? Oh right, yeah. So you had to reserve beforehand, and I went once during the morning, once towards the afternoon, and so I got a ticket for like, I think 5 p.m. and the museum was gonna close at 9:30, 9 p.m. However, because I was a little bit lazy and also had stuff to do beforehand, I went over and strolled over to the museum, arriving at around 7. And so, you know, the first time I went to the museum, I didn't really have like a plan. I just went there to visit like a normal like a normal tourist. And so I didn't take a lot of the pictures that you guys saw today. And so for the second trip, I was trying to frantically trying to take all the missing pictures that I needed for today's stream. And I was running up and down the stairs all over. I wasn't running, okay, I wasn't being too disruptive, but I was like power walking through all the different exhibits, snapping photos, trying to make sure that I get all the stories right, I get all the pictures and scenes correct. I had my little notebook to reference that okay, I need a picture of the goddess of victory. From this angle as well, from the front on and also the side on. I also need a picture of the of the hallway, of the paintings. I need pictures of different cool photos. Sorry, the photos of the paintings were kind of like the pictures I took in my first trip, but all the other photos, like the ones that you saw in the background of a lot of the masterwork stuff, masterpieces stuff, we're taking on the second trip. And after I left, when the museum kicked us out, that was when the sunset was gonna happen, and so that's when I stayed around for a little bit more than an hour, trying to snap the perfect photo of like the sun setting into how it shines onto onto the front of the pyramid and also the front of the building. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of those two pictures. Let me see if I can, yeah, go back. Show it off. Oh no, oh. Oh god, I closed the tab. Oh, that's awkward. Go back. Google Slides. Yeah, okay. Slideshow. Yeah. This, I didn't take this picture. I didn't take these two pictures. These two pictures were, were from, what's it called? From Wikipedia of like, you know, Creative Commons stuff. There's some videos of the Louvre that we saw earlier. There's, I can show up these videos again, because, some of you guys missed it. This is what you saw when you kind of like first walked out of the, let me set all the settings correct. Oh, I almost ran into people trying to film this video. But this is what you saw when you walked out of the metro station, the first impression of the Louvre. And these two pictures, these are the two pictures that I was talking about. So this one took nearly an hour, but this one was much earlier. This one kind of still had the same lighting, but it was, I had to wait for when there was no one in front of the pyramids, and so that took a few minutes of just like standing there awkwardly. I felt a little bad because I was also blocking other people's pictures a little, but you know, there's a lot that goes into patience. Yep. And oh, that actually reminds me, can I find out about let me see if I can find that photo of girl at hot dog stand. Oh no, I was muted. Oh god. Okay, so I was trying to find basically this photo of sorry, I don't know where when I muted, but basically I was saying like one of the reasons why I was able to be so patient, especially for just a quick photo, is because I remember hearing about this very, very famous photo. Sadly I don't remember the name or the person who took it or when or where it's about, but it was like depicting this girl at a stand, I think a hot dog stand or something, and the light just perfectly shined through, and so the perfectly shined through onto this girl, and it was in the middle of New York City, so it was a very, very famous photo, and the story behind it was that the photographer waited the entire day just to see if there were anyone that, you know, any moment that was that was worthy of being captured. And basically, that's my philosophy that went into capturing these two photos. I was like just waiting for the flag over there on the left to be blown so it's visible, because for the majority of the day it wasn't windy enough to blow the flag off of the pole. Yeah. And this picture also a little bit, I guess, of just waiting for people to clear from the front of the pyramid. I didn't think people were gonna leave on the sides. A little bit of like what I'm covering here is the crowd on the right side. Let me see if I can move out of the way so you guys can see. There were some people here, but yeah. I can show off these videos again as well. Yeah, this is the first entrance to the courtyard, and you can see like, ooh, there were a lot of cool like people playing guitars and singing, and so you can hear a little bit of that in the background. Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, I think it was a very, very smart decision to like take this after I came out of the Louvre. So when it was much closer to sunset in Paris, which actually is around 10 p.m. now. It's so late. I don't understand. From where I grew up, sunset was usually around 5 to 6, 6:30 at the best. And this video was taken after you go down the escalators into the Louvre, into the glass pyramid, and in the middle of like, the square, I suppose, before the tickets, where they like take the tickets and stuff. And this is entering into the first exhibit room. Ta-da! Oh, I hate my own voice. But like the way that these oh, sorry about that. My voice died. The way that these like statues are like carefully placed inside these beautiful, beautiful rooms. Oh, I was fascinated here by the deer. And just like spend a lot of time looking at it. But this is a pretty nice like last scene to end on, and then we go further into like the exhibits. Ta-da. Yeah. Okay. Oh no. I keep pressing the wrong one. Okay, deer. Yeah, there are a lot of cool deers. Wait. Okay, wait. Let me show you guys another one. Let me see if I can find out more about. Oh yeah, I did a cool little drawing. Let me see if I can find out more about this painting in the background, behind the two slaves through this arch. I don't know how to look for it exactly, but maybe if I just like take a screenshot of it and search on Google Images, that would be good enough. We'll see. It seems like no, I can't really find out more about it, but I saw a lot more deer. I don't know why. Maybe like deer was the perfect game in the past to be hunting. There was a lot of deer killing that made me a little sad. But this picture in the background was like kind of like not picture. statue in the background was a woman. I'm guessing it's like a Greek goddess of some sort, holding grapes and holding onto the deer head that's being mounted. Yeah, there's so many deers, but also so many dead deers. Ooh. Alright. Yo. They're impressive animals, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah. I like hearing deer compliments. I shall spread the gospel of the deer. Make deers more popular. You know, speaking of deers, the most recent anime season, there is a deer anime of it was really weird. I did not understand. My brain wasn't able to comprehend. Shikono, what's it called? Shikonoko noko doshtan da. Maybe? Maybe I said it right. But basically Shikonoko something. And it was a very interesting way to depict humor. It had a very interesting sense of humor. Unlike the anime, my antlers are not detachable. Alright, so don't try to pull on them. I can hide them with magic, but ta-da. But that's only visually. I still can bump into I can still bump into walls and stuff, even if I hide them with magic. So, yeah. Big no. Don't pull on my antlers. Okay. But alright, that's all I have prepared for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, like, learned anything, that would be my that would be so heartwarming for me if you guys found anything interesting. For tomorrow, the next stop of our world tour. First stop in France, our world tour. The next stop is the Palace of Versailles, so we'll go over the palace, the history of the French monarchy, and also a little bit about the famous musical gardens of the Palace of Versailles. Yep. There's a bunch of cool things I have planned for tomorrow. A little, what's it called? A little quick, cool little game, I suppose. And so, yeah, thank you, Syphu. It's a bit late, but no, I can't read. The bit was, I was here was so good. Definitely watch the full thing at the end. So excited for tomorrow. Yeah, I also have plans to make this into either shorts or YouTube videos. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can try to cook up. But, yeah, I hope you all had a wonderful day today, and I would like to let's see if there's anyone cool streaming. And we will raid someone today. Yep. Hello, Ellie. What's up? Ooh, okay. Yes, okay. There's this very cool, can I say something? Sure, go ahead. There's this very cool VTuber that is a history, what's it called? History professor, who like talks a lot about like a lot about the related topics to today's stream that I want to raid. I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your thanks. I have a lot of plans to to continue this even after we leave France. I will be leaving France on Tuesday, I believe. So there will be more to come about this. I hope to do more cool things. And so, yeah, this is kind of like my first leap of faith experimentation, I suppose. For taking time out of your visits to take photos and get information and explain everything to us. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was a lot more loose than I I would have liked, but still, I hope it was entertaining, and yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful time over at Cleo IT's channel, and I believe they are playing. Let me see. No, they're not playing anything right now, but they had a really cool stream of a history lesson recently. I believe it was about the Dark Ages, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful time over there, and have a great rest of your morning, afternoons, and evenings. And goodbye, everyone.